Panic Parade is the new PvE mode in Pokemon Unite that's super fun, and here are a couple things to note about it. If you want to get it done fast, and get it done with a lot of attack. Use an attacker, somebody like Garchomp, Dragonite, Gardevoir does a lot, Absol, Talonflame does a lot. Decidueye is the guy I've been seeing do the most, or at least the most consistently. Alolan Ninetales also rocks. If you want to play a little bit more conservatively, you want a little bit of lifesteal so you stay alive a little bit longer, somebody like Caesar might rock. If you need to go with Defender, I've only seen a couple work pretty well. I've seen a Blastoise work pretty well, and we love Crustle. If you can get a teammate that does a Crustle, that's fantastic because his wall will capture bosses coming down the lanes. You can wall off Talonflames that are diving in. It's super helpful if the build is there. If you're just going to like finish the entire match, Crustle can be very helpful, but if you're going for the fastest, everybody go attack. Something that you should not do that I've seen too many people when I solo queue do is don't go Blissey, don't go Greedent, don't go Eldegoss, definitely don't go Comfey. There's nothing wrong with being a support. In this mode particular though, you don't need it. If you die, you respawn so fast, you want to go for fast and heavy attack damage. You are not worried about healing your teammates. So just a note, the only support that I've seen kind of work before is Mr. Mime because of his walls. Same idea as Crustle, but I heavily recommend somebody like Decidueye, Garchomp, Dragonite, Talonflame. These are big hitters that I see every single time. So those are people that you can play. Now, here's what to expect wave by wave in this game. I usually run up the middle lane, so I'm gonna give you a play-by-play of what I usually run into, what you can prioritize, what you should probably expect wave by wave. Wave 1 through 3 I consider the relax phase. Wave 1 is over before you know it. You run up your lane and it's done. Wave 2, you're sitting where the enemy's gonna spawn, you kill them as they spawn in, it's done. Wave 3, more of the same. There's a Tauros that spawns in that's a little bit harder to kill, just a tiny bit, but it's gonna be over just as fast as the last 2 waves. Wave 4, you're gonna prioritize Vespiquens and Eldegosses. I typically like to run back down the lanes and go to where the Eldegosses spawn in these 2 little pockets because they're gonna do a lot of health to the Combees that are being sent down the lanes to attack Tinkaton, and I think the faster that you get rid of those heals, the better. Of course, if you can kill the Vespiquen, go for it because she spawns Combees like it's nobody's business, and if nobody is attacking the Vespiquen or nobody's protecting Tinkaton from the Combees, it's gonna get messy. Even though I say prioritize Eldegosses, if you have a reason to prioritize the Vespiquen, go for it. Don't prioritize the Combees per se unless nobody on your team is paying any attention to them. Wave 5 is your first boss. It's Big Hoopa. He comes down the middle lane. He's gonna spawn in other baddies at the top of the bottom lane. Somebody it's random, like Greninja or Snorlax or Eldegoss, and he's gonna keep doing that until he's dead. So of course you prioritize Big Hoopa. This is something that I like about Crustle in these situations, is that he's going to prevent bosses from getting to Tinkaton faster. Of course, if you can have somebody break off to protect Tinkaton while those baddies are spawning in to attack Tinkaton, that's helpful, but the more the merrier on Hoopa the fastest, the better, because the faster he's gone, the fewer people he's spawning in as addition to attack Tinkaton. Wave 6 is again like waves 1 through 3, there's not much to worry about, you'll fly through it, don't worry. Wave 7 is Greedent and Abras. Don't worry about the Greedent, definitely worry about the Abras. If those things go untouched for too long, they start compiling into big groups and they do a bunch of damage to the Tinkaton. So get rid of those as fast as possible. I know that they're gonna teleport everywhere, but if you can prioritize them, go for it. Also, if I'm not mistaken, you can get in the way of their shots to Tinkaton if you choose. Keep that in mind while you're fighting the Abras. If you see beams coming in, you can potentially get in the way to prevent them from hitting Tinkaton. Wave 8's your next boss fight. Treat it the same way as Wave 5. This time it's Avalugg. If you're a ranged attacker, you're gonna have a mighty fine time during Avalugg's situation. Just make sure that if any buddies start spawning and attacking Tinkaton, that somebody's got an eye on that, but the faster you get through Avalugg, the better. Wave 9 looks bad, but isn't that bad. It's Venusaurs, Sableyes, and Talonflames. Talonflames are gonna do a lot of damage right off the bat, but if you kill them, they die fast, and you should be able to gain a Talonflame to use in the next round on the next boss. Sableyes I like to prioritize getting rid of because they're gonna be dropping a lot of that Eos bomb, and you don't want a bunch of spots around the map that are going to be hurting you while you're fighting the next boss because they hang around for a long time. Last priority is Venusaur because A, doesn't attack that often, B, if you attack from a certain angle, you can redirect its solar beam away from Tinkaton, so it's not like it's doing much harm in the beginning of the fight anyway. Get rid of the Talonflames, they probably do the most damage. I don't think Sableye attacks Tinkaton, honestly. I think he's just more in the way of you guys as opposed to Tinkaton. And last priority, Venusaur. Wave 10 is a make or break phase, especially if you're solo queuing. queuing, make sure you pay attention to this. You're gonna need to know some things. You're facing Zapdos, who himself is not the hardest thing in the world to beat, but he will use a move that puts a giant red area of effect circle on everybody at first. When that's happening, everybody needs to get away from each other, because if you and your friend are within each other's circles, you will hurt them, he will hurt you. You guys will die fast. It does damage to everybody on the team, but something that's vital to remember is that if you are near Tinkaton and that circle comes around you, that does damage to Tinkaton, and a lot. So if that happens while Tinkaton is the main priority going on, all of a sudden Zapdos gotten down the lane and you're worried about being around Tinkaton, if you get that giant red circle around you, you get away from Tinkaton, because if you continue to attack Zapdos and Tinkaton is in that circle, you very well might kill Tinkaton. I've had it where Tinkaton had about 40% health left, and we still ended up killing Tinkaton because somebody on the team did not leave Tinkaton while they were in that electricity field. Oh, also side note, during Zapdos, electrodes will be coming from the top and the bottom lane, and if nobody is trying to stop those will also do a lot of damage to Tinkaton. So somebody needs to break off and make sure that those electrodes, or at least most of them, do not make their way to Tinkaton. Also, a couple things to be aware of because I think it's the right time to mention it. Electro Wall as an item, I believe, will hurt Tinkaton if placed at the wrong place, so be wary of that. Something to note, Recovery Bomb is the best item that you can possibly get in this, because Recovery Bomb, yes, heals you and your teammates, but 100% of the time, use it on Tinkaton. It only does about 3% health increase, but that's better than anything. So if it's at 57%, he's gonna go up to 60%, but that's 3% better where he was before. Wave 11 can be a little nasty. If I remember correctly, you face Persians, Meowth, a Tauros, and maybe some random baddies that spawn in. Be wary of the Persians. I believe that if you kill the Meowths or get the Persians a little bit low on health, I think they enter some sort of rage mode where they get a little bit stronger or faster. So just be aware that if you're attacking the Persians, try and finish them off. Wave 12 is another boss, and it's a random Reggie. This one, in my opinion, is the easiest boss fight, and it's the same strategy as before. You usually run through this Reggie faster than you ran through the Zapdos, the Avalugg, or Big Hoopa. That's not to say let your guard down. I'm just saying from my experience playing this game mode, it's the fastest we finished off a boss. Wave 13 sucks because it brings back Abras and Vespiquens. So Vespiquen is going to be sending a bunch of Combees down, so you need to make sure that you get rid of those, but also you need to get rid of the giant chunk of Abras that are doing a bunch of damage to Tinkaton. So of course this is going to break the team off a little bit. Somebody's going to need to make sure that there aren't a bunch of Abras compiling in certain areas, and somebody's going to need to do their damage to Vespiquens to stop the constant respawning of Combees. Wave 14 I consider the it ain't over phase, because it starts out pretty simple. You're going to have a pretty easy time in the first half. Then it's going to get a little bit harder, especially when the boss shows up again in the middle lane, because it will start without a boss, and then there will be a boss like an Avalugg that pops up in the middle lane, and that's still wave 14. So don't think that all of a sudden that you've cleared wave 14 until you finished off a boss in that middle lane. Also, side note, if an Eldegoss happens to spawn behind one of those bosses in the middle lanes, prioritize the Eldegoss, because he is healing the boss, and you don't like the boss to gain health. And finally, wave 15 is Regigigas. He does a medley of attacks, one of those being what Zapdos does with the giant red circle area of effect. Make sure that you're not near your teammates during that, you'll be fine. I can't remember if electrodes come down the lanes during this or not. Once Regigigas gets down to about half health, he becomes immune to attack and sends out a Reggie of the top lane and a Reggie in the bottom lane. They are random. You kill those Reggies first. After killing those Reggies, it's gonna feel pretty easy at this point, which is awesome. You kill those Reggies first, then you go back to attacking Regigigas, and then you fight Regigigas until the end. And when he's done, you've won. Congratulations, you beat Extreme Mode. That felt like a lot, and if you appreciate the information, awesome. If I gave you way more than you needed, I'm sorry, but I just felt like explaining all of that just to get it off my own chest. That being said, now here's an example of Panic Parade on Extreme Mode. I played as Decidueye so you can see how fast and strong he attacks and how great of a character I think he is for this game mode, and I also had a friend playing as Crustle so you can see the effect of the wall on bosses and other people and how it can be helpful. Okay. I love that wave 1 is nothing. Wave 1, yeah. Maybe it gets you overconfident, but it's just so much nothing, it's delicious.
It's nice when I have enough health saved over that I can handle Vespiquen without dying.
I know for a fact that every time I've played as Scizor or Decidueye, I've not been able to handle Vespiquen, and maybe some people will disagree with me on this, but I personally think that it's a smarter move to, at least for me where I am center lane, after killing Tauros, I go for the Eldegoss first. So my Vespiquen is there, center lane, but I'm targeting the Vespiquens first because I think that it's almost more important to make sure that I get rid of everybody's healing.
Right. No, that is an important feature.
I did get stunned by a Slowbro, which was not ideal in this process, but hey, there's that. Considering, because like the Slowbro's there. Okay, you got him, awesome. Are you going for Vespiquen? Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay, that was awesome, smooth. Now let's get Big Hoopa.
Big Hoopa.
Big Hoopa. I do love that though. You can make, either they have to get around it or they get frozen in it. The wall is, that's just so nice. See, you just perfectly contain them. And us too, sometimes.
I mean, to be fair, like this is the one game mode where the teammates can't really get mad at me for walling them off.
Yeah, they can't get mad at you for walling them off. And again, the good news is this is the kind of game mode where it's not the worst thing in the world to die. You're not hurt too much from dying. Oh, and Eldegoss. Okay, cool. Cool. Pushing, good. Okay. Nothing too harmful until Aber time. You just lay in with the Leafs. Decidueye, you rock, man. I will say Decidueye is a person that I personally never gave enough like play time or attention to until this game mode. This is a game mode that opened my eyes to Decidueye.
I mean, when you see them shine like they do playing with them,
yeah.
It just really makes you want to try it. And with game modes like this, it really does let you just kind of pop off.
Yeah. This is see the peak that is Decidueye. I mean, you don't really in regular game modes get to go out there and do 2 million damage, so.
Oh, definitely not. One other thing that I found with the Abras is you can body block their damage to tank.
Yeah, that's one other thing that I note a lot is I like to be in the way of it. Hey, why does it say that Zacian's carrying around 40 AOs?
Is he?
Just on the map it says
maybe
it.
Maybe his ability charges it.
Okay, maybe. Keep my distance. I like to use my ult when I can, but people like pretty much any of the bosses, they'll walk and then he'll stop, and if he stops on me with that sphere, I'm gonna die as soon as he spins if I'm just sitting there. We're running through Avalugg. Oh my goodness.
Barely got off the bridge. Damn.
Yeah, wow. We got about halfway there. Got a Delibird down there. Oh, it's Snorlax.
Snorlax.
Why does a Snorlax always look like he's ascending? He's standing there like he knows he's immortal.
I mean, at least on the bright side, if it's Snorlax, then
all three
you know that
Sableyes.
he's not really damaging because he's just blocking the Tinkaton.
I had all 3 Sableyes frozen in that Freeze Blast. That was lovely.
Nice.
Where I don't want to ask where Talonflame is because they'll tell me.
Let's see. Can I purposely kill myself with the Aeos to reheal?
I guess.
Strategic reset?
I get, why not? Okay, here we go.
Is this Zap?
Top. Yeah, this is Zap.
Okay.
Oh, bummer. I know our Cinderace's Talonflame got blocked on that play. But that's okay, that's to be expected. Who we got? Is it Zacian that's sitting on Tinkaton there?
I did not notice.
Maybe it was, I don't think it was Electrodes, I haven't seen him, but somebody was sitting on, letting some damage come Tinkaton's way there. Yeah, it's a Venusaur is gonna be sitting on him.
It's Venusaur this time.
And it's still gonna happen too, so hopefully they keep
No, he got off,
he got off. Okay, good. Okay, good.
Yeah. Good. Not the worst.
Yeah, it could have been worse. All garden everywhere. I'll go middle. I guess all of us will go middle. Ain't no harm in it. Faster we clear lanes, the better, so. You.
I've never seen a Tauros reach tank.
Neither have I. I didn't know that was possible.
It just happened.
I haven't seen him start crossing the bridge before. Okay, cool. We're not, yeah, okay, we're to Reggie. I was gonna say wave 14 is when the Abras come back, right?
I believe so. Oop, rip.
That Eldegoss.
Okay, no walls for the Reggie.
Thank goodness this reaches so far. It's just marvelous. Fighting through.
And boom,
And
that's
he's
Reggie.
gone.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay. Get rid of who we can as fast as we can. Greninja.
Go for the Vespies.
Abras. Venusaurs. Lots of Venusaurs. They're crossing beams on Tinkaton. Non-stop. Okay, very good.
I just soloed Vespiquen, Garchomp, and a Venusaur
As Crustle.
as Crustle.
That's an important note in that. That was a very good wall. For how many people there were there, that was a very good wall. Alright.
I guess we're all going middle.
I guess
I'll go
so.
bottom.
I guess so. Get any assistance out here, why not?
Oh, this is Electrodes.
Oh gosh, okay. It seems like it's just a mixed bag. Until what? Usually something like an Avalugg comes down again? Yeah.
Avalugg there?
Yeah, Avalugg's here.
Okay, I'm coming to Walt. Oop.
And Mew behind them. Mew's down. Keep pushing. Keep on pushing. That's a great wall on Avalugg.
Thank you. I thought I was gonna miss him
Greninja's
with
down.
that one.
Oh no, Greninja's not down, just his shadows. He's down now. Okay. Fury Ether. I like having a Fury Ether going into the final. That's not that bad. Okay, okay. Good hardy push. You want to go for get the Delibird present? Maybe it's a.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, well.
That's okay.
Zacian stole it.
I'm gonna stay down now.
I'm gonna space out.
Pure
Ball from a distance.
yeah. The shameful non-luck that you have to just wait this whole thing out.
Yep. And Zacian kills me anyway.
I was gonna say I started getting a little bit I like where I couldn't wait anymore either. I almost died in those circles too. Okay, cool. Let's get the Regis. Regis. I do love. Regirock seems to always start attacking before he gets the Tinkaton just at nothing. I respect him for giving us a little bit extra chance in this fight every time. Cool. Cool. Yep, keep fighting out here, bud. Keep the fight out here. And bada boom.
Bing. Best one today.
Amazing. 10 minutes flat's pretty dang good.
That is good, yeah.
I'll take that. Because what, the
Okay.
fastest times are usually like 7 something or 8 something, but 1.3 mil, I see on average, for me, 1.2 to 1.6 million damage dealt, almost always 100,000 damage taken, and somewhere around 90,000 recovery. He's so comfortable, he attacks so fast and so often. I can't recommend using him enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know if there's any other Pokemon Unite or Pokemon in general content that you'd love to see. And hey, goodbye forever.